We see it everywhere. Dangling from necklaces, printed on t-shirts, tattooed on arms. The cross is so common that it has become a decorative background element of modern life. But this casual familiarity hides a brutal history. 2,000 years ago, the cross was the Roman Empire's most efficient tool for public humiliation. It was designed to maximize physical agony and ensure that an enemy of the state was erased from human memory with terrifying precision. This creates a difficult question. If the creator of the universe stepped into human history to save it, why would he choose this specific, gruesome method of exit? Why would a story of love culminate in the most violent execution method ever devised? The records suggest this was a deliberate mission. Long before there was a cradle in a manger, there was a cross. This specific event was set in motion from the beginning to resolve a crisis that humanity had no power to settle. That crisis began with a fracture. When humanity chose rebellion, it introduced a systemic decay, a betrayal that severed the connection between the Creator and his people. A wound this deep requires a resolution as severe as the break itself. This creates a deadlock. Look at this scale. On one side, you have justice, which dictates that every act of evil must have a consequence. On the other side, you have love, which seeks to spare and restore the very people who committed those acts. A holy judge cannot simply overlook evil without compromising his own integrity. If God ignores the damage we've done, he is no longer just. But if he carries out the sentence, humanity is lost. The system is in total deadlock. The cross serves as the singular point in history where this impasse is broken. It provides a way to satisfy the demands of justice while fully expressing the reach of love, without compromising either. To understand how it works, we have to look at the physical components, beginning with the wood. Biblical history records that human rebellion first entered the world through a tree in a garden. Centuries later, an ancient legal code was established. This column of text in the Torah scroll declares that anyone hung on a tree is publicly cursed, a sign of being rejected and forsaken by God. Jesus willingly carries his own cross through the streets of Jerusalem, stepping toward that specific ancient penalty. He climbs a second tree to stand where we were supposed to stand, under the weight of that rejection. The wood provided the necessary legal framework. It was the designated mechanism for absorbing the curse of divine rejection, so that humanity could finally be released from it. While the wood absorbed the curse, the debt of sin still required payment. This platform on the Temple Mount was the center of a sacrificial system where animals were offered daily to acknowledge the cost of human failure. The book of Leviticus established a clear rule: the life of a creature is in its blood. Therefore, blood became the only currency heaven recognized to settle the legal debt incurred by sin. But as this tattered parchment suggests, the blood of animals was never the final solution. It was a temporary measure, a spiritual placeholder that deferred the judgment, but could never fully remove the stains of the past. At the cross, the system reaches completion. Jesus acts as the spotless sacrifice and the high priest at the same time, offering his own untainted blood to settle the debt once and for all. Because he offered his own life, the crucifixion did more than just cover our failures. It permanently removed the record of debt from the ledger. At the time, this looked like a total collapse. As the shadows closed in on that hill, it appeared his message had been silenced and his movement crushed by the weight of the empire. The political and religious leaders believed they had secured a victory. From the perspective of the darkness, it seemed they had successfully executed a checkmate against the plans of God. But they were walking into a trap. The cross was a cosmic ambush. By embracing the nails, Jesus was baiting the enemy into a move that would lead to his own destruction. The enemy's power relied entirely on the record of our sins. By satisfying the legal demands of the law through his own death, Jesus took that record and nailed it to the cross, erasing the evidence used to accuse us. God did not use an army to win this war. He used the enemy's own instrument of execution to disarm the darkness and publicly demonstrate its defeat. This is the culmination of the cross. It is the singular point in the universe where unflinching justice and radical mercy meet without either side backing down. The legal deadlock is broken. Because the penalty was fully satisfied on the cross, the scales have shifted. Justice is served, and as a result, mercy can now be offered freely to everyone. This changes the very nature of faith. It means we are no longer striving to earn God's favor or hoping we've done enough to tip the scales. We are simply resting in the fact that the work is finished. With the legal debt erased, the forces that once held you have no actual authority left. All they can use now are lies, attempting to keep you trapped in a guilt that has already been paid for. Many of us are still carrying crosses we were never meant to bear, burdens of performance, unworthiness, and shame. But the cross was intended to take those weights from us, not add to them. You can stop trying to fix your own past, step out of the courtroom of judgment, and walk into the freedom the cross has already secured for you.